when you have an established trend with 9 plus breaks in one direction, it's extremely probable that this one break against the main trends of 9 breaks is simply just an absorption. So as trend followers, we want to follow the best trends. And the best trends to follow are the ones that are fractal trends, meaning we want a trend within a trend within a trend, each representing a time frame that is smaller to mid to bigger time frame. I liken this to a flowing river where the water on the top is flowing in the same direction as the water on the bottom and on the same direction as the water in the middle as well. This gives us the best flowing trend, the best water flow that is least turbulent. So namely, what we're waiting for on Bitcoin is to have 3 trends within each other going in the same direction. And that would be represented with all green colors in this simple quantitative analysis sheet. We view markets purely quantitatively on this channel to develop bias. And doing that for the Bitcoin price at this point here, we get this situation right here. Now, I've gone through how to perform this simple quantitative analysis in previous videos on the channel, but for new viewers, the main idea of this analysis is to measure price in percentage right now from so-called trend origin points to get a directional bias irrelevant of the trader and irrelevant of this bearish looking pattern here. Now, what are trend origin points? They're simply the third structure break in a nascent trend, where successful break of signals the start of a new trend. Why third structure break? Because a trend has to start somewhere. And through extensive backtesting and cataloging, I've observed many times over that a third structure break in a nascent trend is the make it or break it point for a new trend to start, or the old one to continue if that trend origin point fails. Do check out the most recent video on the channel for a detailed breakdown on this. But starting on Bitcoin here from the daily time frame and its trend origin points all the way down here, because this was the third structure break in this bullish trend right here. We have the first structure break, pull back, second structure break, pull back, and the third structure break right here, where a successful break off commenced this bull market. Now, if we measure price in percentage from this point right here, we are well in the green. It's a deep green bullish trend with 150%. If we put that in the sheet, it will give us a deep green color, signaling a bullish trend. Now we do this analysis for trend origin points to the long side, and we do it also to the short side. And this right here was a bearish trend origin point on the daily. Why? Because we have this structure break right here that has come from here, then one, two, then 3 right here. It was slightly broken through unsuccessfully and reversed immediately to start the bullish trend. So from both of these points, we are 150% in the green, meaning that a bullish trend origin point has succeeded in forming a bullish trend, and a bearish trend origin point has failed to perform or to originate a bearish trend. Had we been, let's say, 30% under this bearish trend origin point right here, this would have been deep red color, signaling a successful bearish trend. So it's the combination of being above a bullish trend origin point and also a bearish trend origin point. So the next time frame is the hourly. We do the same kind of analysis We zoom in right here. And we look for the most recent bullish trend origin point, which is, if we look in this structure right here, we have first structure break here, second, then third, giving us a bullish trend origin point to the long side. If we measure price in percentage from it at this point now, we are slightly under it. That's why the color here is kind of a light ruby red and not deep red. And then we look at the trend origin point to the short side, which is the third structure break in the most recent trend. We have the first one here, pullback, second one, and then we have the third one right here with a very aggressive break underneath it. But now if we look, we are above it again. We have reclaimed that. So that's why, but we are slightly above it. That's why the color is still gray. So we measure price in percentage from it, and it's about 1.8%. That's why the color is still gray. We haven't let go of it and commenced a bullish trend. Now we go down to the last time frame and do the same. We look first for the most recent third structure break in this nascent trend. First, the bearish one right here. We are above it right now. So that is obsolete. Then the bullish one, which is right here, we're also above it with a successful break. So we are deep in the green on this smallest and third time frame. The last part of the sheet analysis is to simply mark if the last break on the relevant time frame has been to the upside or downside, with 1 giving us green, break to the upside, and -1 giving us red. And we see on the big time frame it has been red to the downside. Mid time frame also downside. Small time frame upside break being this right here. And on the big time frame, which is this break right here. And on the mid time frame, it's this break right here, downside break. So now we have an overview of 3 time frame trends on Bitcoin. Now the ideal situation is you want all to light green, then you have a fractal trend, namely a trend within a trend within a trend. You'll get a much smoother, less turbulent flow. So we don't have that on Bitcoin now, but we do have something interesting, which is this break right here, which is this. Why is that? I spoke in the most recent video about using models to enter a trend and how to time the best entry to an established trend. Simply put, when you have an established trend with 9+ breaks in one direction, this established trend with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 right here, it's extremely probable that this one break against the main trends of 9 breaks is simply just an absorption rather than trend reversal. Like at this point right here, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 breaks in one direction, then one first break in the opposite direction. Now, does this signal a trend reversal of this entire trend? No, it's more likely that it's an absorption, a shakeout, and a continuation in the main direction. But going back to the sheet analysis, at this point right here, everything would have lit red until the main trend, which is deep in the green, which is how a pullback against the main trend is visualized on the sheet. So you have the main trend deep in the green, still in the green, and suddenly everything else becomes red up until here. You would see that all of this is red had you entered price into the sheet at this point right here. A deep in the green, big time frame trend against all red, mid and smaller time frames. Then we know that the pullback is starting to end once the green starts again on the smaller time frame and starts to swoop over the mid time frame. So it starts from here, a first bullish break against an all red middle and small time frame, which then swoops to a green on the smaller time frame, which then swoops to green on the middle time frame, and then the last break would be green on the big time frame. So if we zoom in again, as we said, at this point right here, everything would have lit red until here. Then at this point right here, that would be the first bullish break on the smaller time frame. So this would have lit green. Then at this point right here, this would have become gray. At this point right here, this would have become gray. And at this point where we are now, we see that the smaller time frame has turned green. At this point right here, if it's broken, this would become green. Then at this point above this right here, this would start turning grayish green, and this, which is the bearish trend origin point to the short side, would become from gray to green. And then above this point right here, this would turn green, and you would have 100% green fractal trend on all time frames, which is very optimal conditions to long. So thanks everyone for listening. I'll be putting out 2 videos a week analyzing Bitcoin and other major markets. So make sure to subscribe for more updates like this. Cheers.